Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Teaching Learning with Purnima once again, and today we will learn the second part of the chapter, Two Stories About Flying. Black Aeroplane. This chapter has got two parts. First is his first flight. I have already made video on his first flight. So today let us begin with Black Aeroplane. First of all, let me tell you some important points about the story. The story Black Aeroplane is written by Fredrick Forsyth. It is about a young pilot who is flying his aeroplane from Paris back to his own country, England. The narrator is going back to England with an earnest wish to enjoy holidays with his family and have good English breakfast with them. When we are out of our country or our town, we always miss our family, especially the food. And the same was happening with the narrator. This chapter depicts a man's decision-making ability, his strong belief and firm faith in his decision. The narrator, he wanted to go to his family, and that is why he took a risk. He decided to fly into the storm, and he had firm faith in his decision. That is why he came out successfully. It is a mysterious story, as the pilot of the black aeroplane remains an unsolved mystery for the narrator. Towards the end also, the narrator could not find out who the pilot of black aeroplane was. Where had he gone? The pilot had helped him. That is why he wanted to thank him, but he could not find. Certain themes are reflected in this chapter. Both the stories of this chapter, his first flight and Black Aeroplane, highlight the importance of self-belief, the confidence in one's decision. The narrator of Black Aeroplane, the narrator of the chapter Black Aeroplane, had faith and belief in his decision. But the young seagull didn't have that self-confidence and faith. And that is why this chapter, Two Stories About Flying, highlight the importance of self-belief and confidence. It acknowledges the need of courage. One needs to have courage to fulfill his objective. One should also have motivation in one's life. Due to that motivation only we can reach our destination, our goal. The way narrator of the story Black Aeroplane was able to come out of the storm, because he has a motivation to have English breakfast with his family. It also talks about mysteries of life which often remain unsolved. Certain mysteries are solved, but many mysteries in our life remain unsolved. The mystery of pilot of Black Aeroplane. It also talks about hallucinations that often appear to be real. If we are bent upon finding something, getting something, then many times we have hallucinations about that thing. The story talks about beautiful message, that is, never say die. It teaches us we should never lose hope, no matter how adverse the situation is. Even the smallest stick is good enough for the drowning person if he clutches his faith tightly. If we have faith, we can come out of any situation, however difficult the situation is. The story also conveys that we should take decisions very wisely and carefully. We should think about the consequences of our decision. We should also think about the threats of that decision. And then only we should decide certain thing. And if a decision is taken once, we should have faith in it. And we should make all the efforts with all our might. We will be successful. Once we are able to overcome our fear, whether the decision is correct or not, whether I will get success or not, these fearful things we should not talk. We should overcome our fear. It can transport us to the world of confidence, and this self-confidence takes us to success. Now let me tell you the detailed summary of the chapter. The narrator of the story is a young pilot, as I have already told you, who is flying his aeroplane Dakota DS-088 over the sleeping France. The entire country of France is sleeping. and he is flying to London at night. He was very happy because he was dreaming to spend his holiday and have English breakfast with his family. In this excitement, he didn't check out certain important things about his aeroplane, whether it has got required fuel or not. He didn't bother to fill both the tanks, and that is why he started flying at night only. It was 1:30 a.m. and the sky was clear. That time the sky was clear. He also talked to the person at Paris control, and Paris control asked him to move 12 degrees west. He switched second fuel tank at that time. It means for going to England he has got only one fuel tank. When Paris was about 150 kilometers behind him, he saw stormy clouds approaching, and it was a dreadful condition for him. He was thinking about the storm. He was scared also because the clouds were huge and black. They were looking like huge mountains. He didn't have enough fuel to fly around all the clouds. They were huge, they were spread everywhere. He could not fly over them also because they were like mountains. And he didn't have enough fuel also. He once thought to go back to Paris. First thought was to go back to Paris because Paris was only 150 kilometers behind. But he had a wish, strong wish to spend time with his family and relish English breakfast with them. And when he thought of that English breakfast, he decided, I will take the risk. The pilot mustered courage, gathered courage, and decided to take the risk. What was the risk? Risk to fly into the storm. He cannot fly around the clouds. That is why he decided to fly through the clouds. As he steered through the stormy clouds, everything turned black. He could not see anything. Towards his right, towards his left, everywhere it was black. He couldn't see anything outside. The plane jumped and twisted. It started twisting in the air because he lost control. Compass started moving round and round. It was not showing any direction. He didn't know which direction he is going. Radio didn't respond. When he called to the people at the control center, nobody responded because radio was not working. All other instruments were dead. Entire control system of his plane had failed. He was without any help. He was completely scared. Suddenly, he saw another aeroplane. It was black. This is also very strange. Usually, aeroplanes are white because it is easy to see them, identify them. But that aeroplane was black. It had no lights on its wings. It was flying, but wings didn't have any light. He could not see anything, but he could see the face of the pilot. The pilot was waving his hand. And narrator understood that pilot is telling him to follow him. The narrator followed the pilot like an obedient child. He didn't have anything else to do. He didn't have any clue what to do. That is why he followed the plane. And that black aeroplane moved towards north. After half an hour, the narrator came out of the storm. It started flowing down. He saw the lights of the runway. After landing, he looked into the sky. He wanted to see where the plane is, but black aeroplane wasn't there. It had disappeared. And he had a curiosity who the pilot was, where the pilot had gone. Reaching the airport, he asked the lady at the control center about the other pilot flying black aeroplane. He asked who was the pilot. He wanted to meet the pilot to thank him, but the lady laughed and replied that no aeroplane was flying in the sky. and his aeroplane was the only plane flying in this storm. This was a bad weather. That is why no other plane was flying at that time. He wanted to thank pilot, but he could not do that. However, he was happy to walk away from his old Dakota. He wasn't sorry that he decided to fly into the storm. He had complete faith in his decision, and that is why he was helped. By whom? Nobody knows. Neither the narrator nor the readers. The chapter ended with 2 questions about the mystery of the black aeroplane. But we can guess that in desperation of finding a help, in desperation of getting out of the storm, he was so desperate that he prayed wholeheartedly, and that is why he could see a person who was there to help him. That may be his hallucination. So I hope you have understood the chapter. Now let me tell you some important question answers. Describe the narrator's experience as he flew the aeroplane into the storm. To read the answer, you can stop the video, pause the video and read the answer. You can also note down important points. Why does the narrator say I landed safely and was not sorry to walk away from Dakota? Who do you think helped the narrator to land safely? Read these answers. I hope all the queries are solved. I hope you have understood the chapter. Thank you. Keep watching my channel. Keep learning with me. If you like my videos, subscribe my channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.